back to the channel. So in previous video of this new chapter, that is the third chapter of class 10th chemistry, metal and non-metals, we have discussed about the introductory part of metals and non-metals. There we have seen what are actually metals, what are actually non-metals, and some general introduction or the general characteristics of what the metals and non-metals. So now in the previous video I have told you that this chapter is very important and very interesting because this chapter are having some practical uses in our daily life. Okay, so when we are telling that they are very important in our daily life, we have to know what are their different uses. What are their different uses, how this can be used in our day-to-day life, means how these metals and non-metals are used in our day-to-day life. So good morning to all. Let's start today's video, and today's topic is uses of metals and non-metals. So let's see. First of all, we will start from uses of metals. Okay, so the first point is the copper was first metal used to make utensils and weapons. Copper was first metal used to make utensils and weapons. So in your history already you have studied about the early civilization of this world. In the early civilization, what you have learned, for example, in the civilization of Harappan, there the main metal which is used to make utensil and weapons are copper. So copper is the first element or first metal which is used to make utensils and weapons. So that's why the copper is very important element which comes from the early of the civilization. So we can say that copper having important use in our day-to-day life. Next, gold, silver, copper, lead, iron, tin and mercury. These are the elements which is known as the quicksilver. Okay, silver having, you know that it is the light black, that is the gray color. So but silver, copper, these don't having the gray color, but this all comes in under the same category. So that's why they are called as the quicksilver. They are called as quicksilver. So the name is given as a quicksilver. Clear? Means they are having almost the same type of uses. That's why they are called as the quicksilver. Next, we know that these metals are having lustrous. These metals are lustrous in property. They are having shiny appearance. So that's why what happened, they can be used in jewelries. They can be used in jewelries. The metals can be used in jewelries. Similarly, it is used in cans. So you are taking the cold drinks, okay, soft drinks in some cans. So that cans are made up of these metals. These cans are made up of these metals. And what is the reason behind it? That metals are highly malleable. The metals are highly malleable. They can be converted into thin sheet. They can be converted into thin sheet. So that is the property of metal which you have already studied in class 8 chemistry. So you know that they are malleable in nature. That's why they are used to make cans. Okay. Next is the utensils. We know that earlier we are using the iron. Okay. Iron for the utensils. Aluminium, copper. Nowadays some polymeric substance are came, but still we are using the alloys of this metal, for example stainless steel and steel, which is made from this metal and it is used for the utensils. So what is the reason behind it, why we are using these metals to make utensils? Because we know that the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. That's why it is used to make utensils. Clear? Next is the furniture. We know that there are many many furniture items are there in our household. For example, chair, table, sofa sets. So those not only prepared from the wood, they are also prepared from the metals, and metallic furnitures are more durable. Metallic furnitures are more durable, so we can cast them into various shape after melting. So that's why it can be used in furnitures. It can be used in furnitures. Clear? Then next is the in construction of heavy machineries, tools, transport vehicles, because we know that when we are making the heavy machineries, they should be highly durable, they should be highly strong. So how they can be make very strong and hard? If we are using the metals, for example, if we will use the plastic, whether a plastic can hold the heavy vehicles or heavy substances? No, it cannot hold the heavy substances, it will break down. That's why we are using the metals, because we know that metals are very hard and having high tensile strength, and having high tensile strength or having the strength. That's why the heavy machineries are used the heavy machineries are made by the use of metals. Next is the tools, because we know that the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, so mainly electricity. So here what we can say, that since they are good conductor of electricity, we can use for making the electrical tools, we can use them making the electrical tools. For example, the iron. Okay, iron means when we are ironing our shirts. Okay, why we are using that iron in that? Because in that case they are good conductor of heat and electricity. So the electrical energy is converted to heat energy. Electrical energy is converted to heat energy. That's why it is used in making electrical tools. Next, transport vehicles. We know that in mining areas there are big dumpers, big trucks are there. Those are generally prepared from iron, because they are highly strong, they are very hard, they are very rigid, and that's why they can be used to make transport vehicles. Okay, so this is some of the uses. So further we are continuing. Used in catalyst. For catalyst, here a word comes catalyst. So what do you mean by catalyst? Remember, the catalyst is a generally metal or any other substance, it may be non-metal, it may be some acid, it may be some base, anything, but here mainly we will talk about the metallic catalyst. So what is catalyst actually? The catalyst means the substance which alters the rate of the chemical reaction, For example, some reactions are very slow, so to enhance those chemical reaction, to increase the rate of those chemical reaction, we are using the catalyst. So catalyst having an industrial importance, it means what? That catalyst can be used in industrial process to convert one substance to another substance, or to conduct the chemical reaction. So what is catalyst? The substance which alters the rate of the chemical reaction is known as catalyst. So catalyst can be used for hydrogenation of vegetable oil. Okay, this is an organic compound. This is one is the unsaturated compound. So when we are using the nickel catalyst, here we are using the nickel catalyst, nickel, palladium and platinum catalyst. This will convert the unsaturated hydrocarbon into saturated hydrocarbon. So here what metals we are using? Nickel, palladium and platinum as a catalyst, which simply enhance the rate of the chemical reaction, but it do not take part in the chemical reaction. Next is the manufacturing of ammonia. This is called as Haber's process. The manufacturing of ammonia is called as Haber's process. The process is known as Haber's process. So how the ammonia is prepared? Ammonia is prepared by combining the nitrogen with hydrogen. The ammonia is prepared by combining nitrogen and hydrogen, but the reaction is very slow. That's why we are using the iron catalyst or the oxide of iron. Present time we are using the oxide of iron. Earlier we are using the iron as a catalyst. So in the Haber's process we are using the Fe to manufacture ammonia. Now the question arises, sir, why you have told us about only about the ammonia, not others? Others are also there, but what ammonia is an important compound in our everyday life. Not in our everyday life, we can say it is an important compound for the development of the country. Why? Because this, from this ammonia the fertilizers can be prepared. From this ammonia fertilizers can be prepared, and we know that our country India is based upon agriculture. This is an agricultural country. So that's why the fertilizers are very much required for the production of the plants, for the production of the crops. So that's why ammonia is an important compound which is used to synthesize the synthetic fertilizers. Next is the used in biological process. What are the different biological processes are there? For example, in our body there is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin contains iron. Actually, this hemoglobin having a porphyrin ring structure, and in the middle there is the Fe is there. Iron metal is there. So this, what is the role of hemoglobin? The role of hemoglobin is to carry the oxygenated blood, means in the blood, to carry that, because we know that the blood carries the oxygen from heart to different parts of the body. Similarly, again from back from the different parts of the body, the hemoglobin contains the deoxygenated blood or the carbon dioxide from the other parts to the heart. So in this process the iron is very much required. So generally in ladies they are having a problem that is called as the anemia. So anemia means what is? Deficiency of iron. So in that case the doctor prescribed to take some more diets which containing the iron. So this iron quantity is very much essential in our blood, in our hemoglobin. If this iron content will decreases, we can affect it, and the disease is called as anemia. So we can see that iron are also, these metals are also having some importance in our biological process. Our biological process is incomplete without this metal. Similarly, if we will take, so in hemoglobin there is, there is Fe. Similarly, in chlorophyll there is magnesium. So we can say that this magnesium, this magnesium is present in chlorophyll. We know that in a plant, the plant prepare their own food. So when the plants preparing their own food, they need some substances, and that substance is chlorophyll. If the chlorophyll is not present in a leaf, the plant will die after some time. If anyhow the chlorophyll died, or if the chlorophyll is removed, in that case what happened? The plant will die. Why? Because the plant are making their food by using this chlorophyll, and chlorophyll having magnesium. So if we are removing this magnesium, what happened? The chlorophyll will die and the plant cannot produce their own food. And what happened in that case? In that case, the plant cannot survive. So similarly, there are many more biological processes are there. For example, potassium is there, calcium is there. Calcium is an important part in our bones, because our bones are made up of calcium. Our tooth enamels, these are made up of calcium. Similarly, potassium is used in the transportation of signals in our biological process. Potassium is used as a transport carrier to transport the signals. So in this way we can see that the metals are also useful in our biological process. If any one of the metal will decreases, then we will face some diseases which creates problem in our biological process. So we can say that the metals are very important in our biological process too. So apart from these uses, there are many more uses of metals. For example, metals can be used for making the electrical gadgets due to good conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are used in the instruments, musical instrument. Why? Because the metals are having the property of sonorous. That's why they are used in the musical instrument. So they are creating a very nice ringing sound. Okay, so if we know the properties, we can easily say the uses of metals. So apart from this, there are so many important uses of metals are there. Okay, so we can say that the metals are the backbone of any civilization. Metals are the backbone of any civilization, means any country is developed if all the metals are available in their country. If all the metals are available in their country, then what happened? They are useful, they can use in the development of the country, and they can be used in various substance to make the various substance which are used in our day-to-day life. You can see around yourself, there are so many things which are made up of metals, so this is all about the uses of metals. Now we will come to uses of non-metals. What is the uses of non-metals? So see, first is the hydrogen. Remember, hydrogen is an important non-metal. Okay, is an important non-metal, and it is kept separately in the periodic table. Why it is kept separately in the periodic table? Because the hydrogen having the unique and versatile property than that of other metals and non-metals, because hydrogen having the tendency to donate electron as well as the accept electron, to donate electron as well as to accept the electron. So what happened? This hydrogen, first of all, already we have studied hydrogenation of vegetable oil. So hydrogenation of vegetable oil into ghee, so vegetable oil can be converted into vanaspati ghee by hydrogenating the unsaturated hydrocarbon. So what is hydrocarbon? I will tell you in the carbon compound chapter. What is hydrocarbon? The compound of hydrogen and carbon. Okay, and second thing is the hydrogen is used as a fuel. Hydrogen is used as a fuel. It is also used as a fuel. So you know that in future, because these fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, these are having limited quantity. So after a time will come, this fossil fuels will finish. So at that time, because we know that without fuels we cannot do anything, all the vehicles, all our cooking part, everything is carried out by fuels. LPG gas, petrol, these are having limited sources, so they will finish after some time. So for that we have to think some alternative source of energy, and hydrogen is among one of them. Hydrogen is used, can be used, or it is used in nuclear power plants. Okay, hydrogen can be used as a future fuel. Okay, clear? So next is the nutrients are made up of organic compound. Nutrients are made up of organic compound. Nutrients which are made up of organic compound. Nutrients, what do you mean by nutrients? Carbohydrate, protein, okay, carbohydrate, protein, vitamins. So these are called as the nutrients. So these are made up of organic compound, and organic compound mainly contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. These are all are non-metals. So we know that the nutrients are mainly made up of hydrocarbons or the organic compound. So when they are made up of organic compound, and we know that the organic compound is generally containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. So we can see the carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, lipids, these are the important nutrients which is required in our body whenever we are talking about the balanced diet. In balanced diet, what is very much essential? In balanced diet, it is essential mainly the presence of all the nutrients. So all the nutrients are generally made up of what? Generally made up of non-metals. All the nutrients are generally made up of organic compounds, and organic compounds are generally made up of what? Organic compounds are made up of these non-metals, that is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. So these are the nutrients which is made up of organic compounds. So this is the second use of the non-metals. Then O2, you know it is very well, it is 21% available in our earth atmosphere. So how it is useful? O2, how the oxygen is useful? Oxygen is essential for breathing, for the respiration. It is essential. So we can say that O2 is very essential for the respiration. Without oxygen we cannot survive even for 10 or 15 seconds. After, we can feel suffocation. So oxygen is very much required for the respiration, because it is the important thing For example, water, similarly oxygen, these two are very much important for our survival. So oxygen is helpful in respiration and it is essential for respiration. Without oxygen we cannot survive. What is the role of oxygen? To carry the means to carry the to generate the energy, because we know that any substance when heated in presence of oxygen, they produces the tremendous amount of energy. So similarly, they are also essential for combustion. They are also essential for combustion. Without oxygen, combustion is not possible. We know that when any substance born in presence of oxygen, or when any substance reacts with oxygen, then only it will undergoes combustion. What is combustion actually? What do you mean by combustion? Combustion means the substance to burn or to substance to react with oxygen, which produces heat and light energy. Which produces heat and light energy. For example, our fuels, all the fuels are burning in presence of oxygen to generate heat and light energy. And this combustion is an essential process. Why it is essential process? Because due to combustion the energy is producing. The energy is producing, and without energy nothing can be work. So energy is very much required for the work. So that's why oxygen helps to combustion. Combustion gives energy, and by energy we can regulate, or we can any body or any substance or any vehicle will works only due to energy. So that's why O2 is essential for respiration and combustion. Next is the N2. N2 having, you know about N2, it is the 78% available in the earth atmosphere. 78% available in the earth atmosphere. N2 having lots of uses. Why? Because first of all, to preserve food as its inert nature. I have told you in the first chapter, that is the rancidity. In rancidity, what happened? Due to the aerial oxidation of the food, oily and fat food, it will get rancid. It gives a foul smell. But N2, the chips packet are flushed with nitrogen. Because nitrogen having the inert nature, it do not allow the food to undergo rancidity. So that's why N2 is very much essential for the preservation of the food. Similarly, this nitrogen are also used in the organic way in our living world. The nitrogen fixation bacteria is there, which is used by the plants as a nutrient. So we can say that carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen are the essential elements. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen are the essential non-metals. Elements means non-metals. Here we are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. These are non-metals. So these are essential in the biological as well as in our day-to-day life. These non-metals are useful. There are many other uses are there of this. For example, from this carbon we are getting this coal. Okay, this is useful for the combustion, or this is useful as a source of energy. Similarly, petroleum product, these are also made up of carbon. Similarly, we can see the lamp black, charcoal, coke is used for the reduction of the iron oxide. So we can see that the non-metals are also having lots of uses in our day-to-day life. So these are also used as a catalyst. Okay, so this video is related to the uses of metals and non-metals. So we have discussed about the uses of metals and non-metals, and we have discussed why they are used, why the particular metal and non-metal used for that particular purpose due to its property, some property. So students, please take this screenshot of this board so that you will get a note of this chapter, note of this topic, and in this way we are finishing our video. So in the next video we will discuss something new, something more about metals and non-metals. Till then, stay safe, stay tuned. Thank you and have a nice day.